Hi and welcome to TIL Wrestling. Today we're here to talk about AEW's John Silver. To AEW's audiences, he's known as the Dark Order's tiny meat man Johnny HUNGIEEE, but he's been a mainstay on the independent scene and beyond for 10 plus years now. Did you know that Silver used to be a CZW World Heavyweight Champion? Or that he made an hilarious Tough Enough audition tape that was put on WWE television? My name is KF Marks and please subscribe to join me on the quest to knowledge. John Silver started training to become a wrestler when he was 16 years old. When searching for good schools, he came out at Mikey Ripwreck. This former ECW heavyweight champion has been training guys for years now and has been responsible for training AEW's Trent, Jay Lethal, Tony Nese and the Amazing Red, to only name a few. Johnny made his debut in October of 2007 when he won a Battle Royal at 17 years old in his debut match. The first few years of Johnny's career, he mainly wrestled in high school gyms for the New York Wrestling Connection promotion and faced Alex Reynolds dozens of times. It was here that their friendship started. It was only in 2011 that he branched out to other promotions. He made his ICW debut in March of that year against his AEW colleague Ortiz, the insanely talented Chris Dickinson, and deathmatch legend and recently retired Matt Tremont. ICW New York rebranded early 2020 as ICW No Holds Barred and is the talk of the town when it comes to hardcore wrestling. Why? Is there any other place where you can see Mang kill Slag with light tubes? It was in May of 2011 that he made his CZW debut against Dalton Castle. It was also that summer that he defeated current 205 Live wrestler Tony Nese on the card of Evolve 9. Next to his regular appearances for these bigger federations, he mainly tagged with Pat Buck as the Lone Rangers, but also won his first single title when he defeated Tony Nese, Sami Callihan and Alex Reynolds. It was this same summer that he and Alex Reynolds teamed for the first time, at that time still known as the Slop Hunters, to manifest their love for Sloppy Joes, and later as the Beaver Boys. In October of that year, Silver wrestled Johnny Gargano in a dream match you never knew you wanted to see during FIP's Jeff Peterson Memorial Cup. It was later that winter that Silver made his debut for ECWA, Dragon Gate USA and Shikara. He spent the next few years in those promotions becoming an Evolve and Shikara mainstay. His Evolve work is pretty well known as he was part of some legendary early Evolve cards, but his Shikara work is almost unknown. He was active there for almost 3 full years and had 40 plus matches there. Why didn't we know this? Well, he was a masked wrestler named The Shard, regularly teaming with Shikara legend Jigsaw and even facing Japanese wrestling icon Jushin Thunder Liger. He returned to Shikara for one night only at Cybernetico 2018 as part of Team Beyond. Starting in 2014, the Beaver Boys began to pick up steam, winning tag team titles in both CZW and PWG. It was during this period that John Silver was beginning to be seen as a serious player that would have great matches and could run with the best. A great example of this is his match in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla where he would out Brian Cage, or his whole run in Beyond where he would always be booked in storylines with bigger names. During this period, John Silver had wins over names such as Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Chris Hero, Joey Janela and Kyle O'Reilly. He became a crowd favorite and appeared for them on almost every show just up to the start of the pandemic, when he faced Tony Deppen on March 7, 2020 in what in my opinion is a classic showcase of both guys' skills. Although Silver became a regular at most of the northeastern-based promotions and even stepped foot in a Ring of Honor ring at one point, he mostly stayed in that region. He made the occasional exception for Canadian indie shows and matches for the Ohio-based Absolute Intense Wrestling, which is also worth checking out. In September of 2019, WWE offered him and Reynolds a spot against Heavy Machinery for a live SmackDown in the legendary Madison Square Garden Arena. This will be his third WWE in-ring appearance, as WWE seemed to have a liking of putting the Meatman Silver against Beefy Boys, as he had a handicap match against Ryback back in 2013 and had an NXT match against the problematic Lars Sullivan in 2018. Next to that, he also sent in an audition tape for a season of Tough Enough, which is still to this day on WWE's YouTube page. In October of 2019, the Beaver Boys made their AEW debut in a loss to Santana and Ortiz. A few losses later on both Dark and Dynamite, they began to appear on Dark Order vignettes. eventually aligning themselves with the group on the notorious December 18th episode of Dynamite, even being a part of the brawl that rocked the internet when a Dark Order creeper threw the world's worst punches to Dustin Rhodes. It was later revealed to be a creeper with regret of joining the group. When the Dark Order's Exalted One eventually joined Dynamite, the Silver Brodie Lee dynamic became a key part of the group, both on Dynamite and being the Elite. Silver's comedic antics pissed off Brodie Lee to no end, and Silver was berated both physically and by being screamed at. Silver, although being 29 years old, was seen as a dumb child and never really earned Brodie's trust like the other members. This culminated the night of Brodie Lee's final AEW and BTE appearances. He yelled at every Dark Order member for being responsible for him losing the TNT Championship back to Cody Rhodes, but when he sent everyone away, he asked Silver to stay and eventually gave him his respect. After Brodie Lee's passing, Silver has gone to Twitter to tell some stories about the relationship, including telling a story that Brodie Lee thought he needed new gear to be seen as a serious contender, as well as needing copycat Brodie Lee gear for a BTE skit, paying the $1,000+ bill himself. Silverwood went on to wear this gear on the Brodie Lee Memorial episode of Dynamite. All the crazy outlandish BTE skits made John Silver a genuine crowd favorite, which led to a main card match against Orange Cassidy on Full Gear in November of 2020. The Young Bucks went as far as claiming that the Dark Order skits are the most popular thing on Being the Elite these days. Silver is also the current Being the Elite champion, a shoot championship. It's very unclear what the future brings for the Dark Order with the passing of Brodie Lee, and it's not the time now to fantasize about that just yet. One thing is for sure, as talented and young as Silver still is, he has a golden future ahead of him, and I'm sure he'd make a fine TNT champion somewhere in the next few years. He has won many hearts over the years, and he'll win many more. We've seen the future, and the future is HUNGIEEE. Please give this video a thumbs up as we see you next week. TIL out.